Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and today me and Susan will be discussing a three-part TV miniseries from the 1980s, 1980 to be precise, from the pen of Ray Bradbury. This is going to be our discussion of the Martian Chronicles.
Bradbury weekend, yay!
I know Ray Bradbury wasn't happy with this adaptation of his story.
Oh, you're kidding.
He was quoted as saying it was just boring. Because I think I've never read the book.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know how different it was to his own writing. So it must have gone off on a tangent for him to say that. But we're going to do our best to discuss this three-part miniseries. So it's a story of space travel, man going out there, conquering space, and shall we say, going to Mars and colonizing Mars, and discovering, Martians or not Martians, ancient ruins of the Martians, with a story interwoven between these three episodes. So Susan, the Martian Chronicles.
Okay, this is the second Martian story in a couple of months. The first one was Santa Claus versus the Martians. This is Rock Hudson and his erstwhile family, like he's a real heterosexual member of society. So he plays a guy who is the colonel in charge of this exploration, these travels to Mars, these excursions in space. And the first time people go, they end up running into the Martians. Excuse me. And the Martians kill them. And so then they send another one. And in that one, they end up going to the this elaborate temple area and like that, and they discover sort of what's going on, and they start to have their minds messed with a little bit, and so that's fun. And then the third expedition becomes a colonizing one. It's kind of like, like when Santa Claus took on the Martians, only not as nice, because it actually becomes sort of like imperial, like what is it? Manifest Destiny in the Stars. It's like that. Like whatever belongs to you belongs to me now. It's like we learn nothing. We learn nothing from the Native Americans, from our dealings with other people. We learn nothing. Bupkis. We don't learn. We're idiots. And in this one, there's lots of that idiocy. And so I just think that it's really a cautionary. This one, Ray Bradbury tells a great cautionary tale, because in the middle of the third movie, there's all this stuff that goes on back on Earth that's like basically wastes the planet,
Yeah.
So I mean, what are you gonna do? It isn't even like a blizzard like in the Santa Claus versus the Martians. This one's like all just horrible nuclear war or Holocaust went on. It's just terrible. I feel really bad for anybody who's left on Earth. It's a good miniseries. It's slower than Molasses is trailer.
Did it have that effect on you, Susan?
Yeah, it kind of did. I, you know, I really liked some of the story elements, but like a lot of it was just really ridiculous and incredibly slow. And perhaps, as Ray Bradbury said, I didn't even know that he said this, but I was like, yeah, it's going to be boring.
I mean, it was 3 parts, and each part was 1 hour 40 minutes. So that's like 3 movies.
It's basically like the Lord of the Rings, only without orcs and without the sort of fun violence that goes on. Just a few shootings, a few people died. Few people died of old age. I mean, there were people who were dying of old age, so that's how boring it is. That it lasts the whole day in life, and they died of old age. And there's just a little bit of watching paint dry when they're building their places and stuff. And I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty much all my opening thoughts and my overall view of the thing. What about you?
Well, it was good to sit down and watch this again. I haven't seen this since I was 9.
Oh my gosh, you saw it before. Fun.
Yeah, as I say, I remember watching this back in 1980, and as I say, it was broadcast in January of that year. So I was 9 at the time. So and it was, and as far as I remember, it was on a Saturday evening. Yeah, it is. It's a long slog.
Yes.
You can't fault the acting. You know, Rock Hudson in this. Who else did we have? We had Nicholas Hammond, Roddy McDowell.
Roddy McDowell, for crying out loud.
Darren McGavin. What else did we have? Fritz Weaver's in here. There's quite a few. Even John Finch as Jesus Christ.
No, that was random and fun.
I mean, a famous actor there, but only for that small scene. You had Barry Morse as well. Great actor. It is really long, and as you say, there's not a lot going on. There's a few quibbles in this. What I've got about the traveling from Earth to Mars. For me, I think it takes maybe 6 months to a year to get there.
Yeah.
And they were going there just like that.
I know.
Back and forth.
Within a weekend.
And also the telecommunications, the video things, chatting to the general on Earth, to Rock Hudson's character on Mars, just like a normal video call. Not really.
No delay whatsoever.
By 8 months or anything like that.
Oh my gosh.
You would think, because Ray Bradbury did put a lot of science into his work.
Yeah, he did.
I know it's science fiction, but he did put a lot of realistic science into his work. And for this, Hollywood to sort of cock all that up, it did stick out. You're thinking, wow, this is just like a day trip to Mars. I've jumped there.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a few things what didn't. I mean, when the war started on Earth, why did everybody go back to Earth?
I don't know.
Because all life on Earth was destroyed.
Yeah.
Why evacuate Mars to go back to a planet what was getting destroyed? I just don't get that. I'm thinking, well, you stay on Mars.
Yeah. That makes more sense.
I was watching, I'm thinking, this isn't making any sense. But Yeah, but it is a good tale, as you say, of the human race not learning from what they've done in the past.
No, and I mean, like their first contact was, I mean, hadn't these people ever fucking watched Star Trek? Didn't they know how to do this stuff? What you do is you establish communication, and then you start pointing guns at them. You don't just start pointing guns at them first thing. Oh my god!
But the Martians was the ones what pointed the gun first.
Yeah, well that's understandable. Here are all these aliens from a different planet coming to invade them. I would be pointing a gun, but you don't. Anyway.
So then you got the second expedition there with Nicholas Hammond, Captain the crew, the original Spider-Man.
Oh, that's right.
But and then it went a bit weird because it was all the Martians were playing on their memories, taking things out of their memories and recreating them.
Yeah,
which it was weird, but it sort of worked.
It did.
Yeah, it was strange.
Was that when Hammond's character was in a web? I thought that was really funny, like how, or was it a hammock or something? Anyway, that was.
That was when
I thought that they did kind of have a sort of meta reference to his Spider-Man. I don't remember. Never mind. But anyway, go on.
But yeah, so then the third one, of course, was the Colonization Expedition, when Rock Hudson arrived on the scene on Mars. And I did like all that, with colonizing it, making little towns, like shanty towns.
Yeah.
Building up a new civilization. It would have worked.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't understand as well. If most of the colonists buggered off back to Earth, and there was only like a handful, I don't know, not that many left on Mars.
Yeah.
And everybody died on Earth.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm assuming they got all the food supplies from Earth because there was no life on Mars.
Yeah, that's true. And
so
I mean, they're going to have to, build a false environment, atmosphere within the confines of a building, and then they didn't ever take, they weren't living in spacesuits either. It wasn't like that kind of accuracy, like the what's his name, Matt Damon movie.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get at here is, if all the food supplies came from Earth because there was no live animal stock on Mars, no life on Mars, animals or plants for that reason, because it was all desert and sand. Rock Hudson's character at the end of it destroyed the only rocket what could go back to Earth. Yeah. So really he's killed them because there's been no food coming to Mars.
Yeah, that's probably accurate. Yeah.
I'm thinking, why has he done that? Because if the supplies come from Earth.
Well, I do kind of remember. I think I read this book in junior high school, and I think that I do remember them going to a place where there was some of the liquid water, and looking in and saying, "This is what you are, the new Martians."
That's
I think that scene was lifted out of the book, but the difficult thing is with the with that is that weren't there some Martians on the other side of the planet that they just hadn't met? I mean, that was what I kind of remember, that there was still some other Martians left, but I don't know.
It wasn't really made clear about that.
No, it wasn't.
And also the Ken Wilder's finally meeting a Martian, but not really meeting a Martian, because it was a ghost, or he was a ghost. Wasn't really explained.
Right.
So, but anything else what you want to say? Well, I'll just go sort this cat out.
Yeah, the whole religious thing. Okay, I guess one of my favorite parts of this is when all the ministers show up, the whole missionary thing, and I'm just like, but these people would have already been evangelized back on Earth. But anyway, it's fun that they had that they had them come, and then like there was Jesus who showed up because they were pulling things out of the missionaries' heads, and Jesus really confronted them about their behavior and their attitudes, and that was challenging. I mean, it was actually spiritually challenging, and the reality of how much manifest destiny this was is that the third group was the missionaries, and the missionaries came, and they had and they brought their own whole like reality with them. And so I mean, it really was like didn't we learn from dealing with the natives on Earth in North America? I mean, really, come on. Anyway, like that was the interesting thing, was that and so there was a real attempt to get at the supernatural or the spiritual reality of life on Earth, is that all this, all these religions came up on Earth, and so what a challenge it is to talk about that, especially like on a scientific endeavor kind of thing, a scientific expedition. Anyway, I really liked.
Also, you're on about the priests arriving in the episode. Maybe the aliens, what you mentioned earlier, what were on the other side of the planet, where those blue globed, what do they call themselves? Was it ancient ones, high ones?
Yeah, ancient ones.
Ancient ones. Maybe they were the life what they evolved into. That's what they sort of. But
sort of like what Stargate talks about in terms of ascension.
Yeah.
The ability to transcend physical space. Yeah, I just think that's what I mean, in so many of the good science fiction, there's an element of that supernatural or that religious or that spiritual thing that's happening, and those globes were definitely like angel orbs on Earth. That's what we see a lot of on Earth.
That's why you can understand why Father Peregrine sort of believed it was God.
Yeah, and then sees Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, well, because the Martian brought the vision of Jesus out
of his head. I know, that was so good. And that's the kind of Jesus I like, is that kind of confrontational, inspirational Jesus. That's my cup of tea. And so yeah, I think that the story, I do remember the end of the book being that they that they stayed there on Mars, and they did the looking in the water and seeing their reflections and saying, "We are the new Martians. We are the Martians now."
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like they went through all the trial and tribulation. The fact that that the people on Earth actually went to nuclear war while there is an expedition on another planet, I don't think that will ever go down like that because there, no matter how, really hardcore people are, they'll remember that they have a responsibility to stay alive till their colonists come home. I mean, it's why the British Empire didn't suddenly completely shatter in 1776. You just have to have maintain, because these things that are going on out in the hinterland always impact the home planet. And so I don't see that happening, but I don't remember reading about it. But anyway, that imagery was so stinking intense, don't you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. As I say, I just don't understand. I just don't get the. Let's leave Mars. Earth is going to be destroyed. Let's all go back to Earth and get destroyed. I just don't get it.
Agreed. Agreed.
You would stay on Mars and
Right.
make it work.
Right. Agreed.
Because the way this miniseries made it look, like there was only, well, maybe six or eight people left on Mars.
So, yeah, and six or 10 Martians ever to begin with.
Yeah, but how would they recolonize Mars with that amount of people?
Especially since most of them are in a family. Oh my God, creepy.
That's what I mean, yeah. So for me, for when he blew that rocket up at the end,
Yuck. Oh God, that's gross.
he's just actually killed them.
You're literally gonna have, if you're all like from one family and you're all like interbreeding, you're gonna have.
This is what I thought, because I thought, well, Rock Hudson's got a son and a daughter there. They're the only two kids I could see.
Yeah.
Barry Morse's character died.
Yeah.
Of a heart attack. You had Father Stone, Roddy McDowell, still there. And he was doing sermons to an empty church. There was nobody there.
Yeah.
Then you had the guy who turned up in episode 3, who's what was his name?
Hang on.
I'll tell you in a minute. I've got the no, it's Briggs. Is it Briggs? Not Briggs. The one who went on a date anyway with the young blonde woman. I mean, those were the only two what could repopulate the planet, but they hated each other.
Yep.
And also you had what's his name? Sam Parkhill, who had his own diner on Mars, who no one ever went there.
Yep.
And you're thinking, well, that's it. But and that's another thing as well. I mean, that wasn't explained why the Martians gave him the what do you call it? The Martian thing for all this is your land now.
The deed of sale or whatever.
The deed, yeah, the deed. But that wasn't really explained why that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, why would they do that? Unless, as at the end of it, they are the Martians now. This is their land.
Yeah.
Maybe the Martians was handing over the planet to them.
Yeah, maybe. Because maybe they didn't, maybe they just had given up, like, they weren't going to fight these guys.
I mean, it's a good tale, but I think it was sort of produced shoddily, because some of the model work is a bit to be desired.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially those sand ships.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were a bit.
They were like the Pirates of the Caribbean, the one where he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could see they were like dolls on them.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah. Anything else you want to pick at while we're on the subject of picking at things on this?
Well, yeah, like I thought that Gail Honeycutt did a great job, but as
Rock's wife.
But then there weren't there the only other woman was Elma Parkhill, and so there and then the kids and Genevieve Seltzer, and so like there just weren't enough women to go around.
Well, there was 2 other women, but then they turned out to be robot.
Yeah.
Which just came out of nowhere.
Yep.
But I tell you something, I did find out, because it's not credited. It's uncredited on this. But me in narration.
I know you in narration.
Yes, we'll be going on narration in the next cast, but we'll go narration because these episodes were narrated every now and again.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I'm gonna have to. It doesn't say who the narrator is on this. It's not credited, but I found out who it was.
Who is it?
It's an actor called Phil Brown, who played Uncle Owen in Star Wars: A New Hope.
Oh, that's good.
So there you go. But I don't know why he wasn't credited.
That is strange.
I found it uncredited. Voiceover narration.
Huh.
So there you go. So there's a Star Wars connection there.
There is. Well, that's good.
So anything else? I mean, the Martian design. What do you think to that?
Well, it was pretty interesting, pretty accurate. You get a few of those images back from what is it, Perseverance, the new ship there, and they kind of look like Mars, although there's too many bloody clouds. Just to be honest with you, you're gonna have to either shoot on a perfectly clear day or whatever.
Well, it was filmed in 3 locations, if I remember rightly: Malta, Lanzarote, and England.
And in studio. Yep, agreed. So
all the outside stuff would have been in the sunshine in Lanzarote and Malta, and
yep,
inside is Pinewood or Shepperton or wherever it was. But yeah, and the Martians as well. Bald, golden eyes, and golden fingernails.
Didn't look weird enough though. I mean,
they were quite human.
Yeah. Yeah. And you would assume that for person to grow up that big, you need a lot of food, and there just isn't anything to eat over there.
Well, maybe they didn't eat the way we do, or did, or
I understand. There is always that question, but yeah, you're right. I think that a small little gray guy or a little itty bitty gold guys would have been better.
Yeah.
And that's why that, you look at those images from Perseverance and you're just like scouring them, looking for little bitty tiny gold guys, or little teeny tiny green guys that look like ice warriors. You got some ideas out there of what could be on Mars. And so, if you have a chance, look at NASA's footage, dig in, look for that stuff, and you'd probably find, eventually we'll find life on Mars, I think.
But in this instance, we got good-looking Kojaks.
Yeah, we did. It's true.
So, anything else before we go to final stage score?
The music was incredibly. It was mixed very hot. It was super loud.
Yeah.
The voices were whispers, and the music was super loud. And I was constantly adjusting the sound because, I'd turn it up just to hear what they were saying, and then all of a sudden there'd be a music sting, and it was like, holy crap, blew my ears off. So, yeah.
I'll tell you what I did like. Rock Hudson's conversation with the Martian.
Yeah.
They were saying, you're a Martian. No, you're the Martian. You're dead. You're dead. You're the ghost. Blah blah blah. And he was going about, this planet, Mars. No, this planet is Tia.
Yep.
Because Mars is the name we gave the planet.
Yeah.
So I thought that was quite good. Yeah, the proper name was Tia.
Yeah. Agreed.
But so we'll go to final send score then. So over to you.
Okay. For something that was like 4.5 hours long, or even up to close to 6.
It was nearly 6, I think.
Yeah. Yes. Anyway, so because it was so long, and there were a lot of really dull moments. I think that the only person who should be making things that are 6 hours long anymore are people who are doing it like Peter Jackson. He did it for the Beatles. He does those, but that's because he can. And that's because he can tell a story that stays interesting from start to finish, right the way through. All the big action set pieces. This one had small action set pieces and long pauses in between, with lots and lots of looking at the scenery. And I know that that's because that they were trying to envision what it's like, but they shot it on Earth. So what are you going to do?
But also as well, they envisaged it because this was made in 1980. I don't know if Ray Bradbury had put a set date on it when these expeditions happened, but on this miniseries, it was 1999.
Yeah.
Onwards up to 2007. So now we're reviewing it in 2022. You think, yeah, oh.
Yeah, perhaps they didn't need to put a date on it.
Yeah.
And that was and I don't remember the book well enough to tell you whether or not that really was the dates. Who knows? But I enjoyed it for a watch. It was a bit of a slog, but yeah. I'll give this 7 pointy Martian guns out of 10.
Yeah.
Because it's got some good parts to it. So for those, I'll go higher than a 5.
Cool. Yeah, as you say, there's some good points in this, but the slow, boring points outweigh the good points. If they'd have,
he's going lower than 5.
if they most probably edited and shuffled it about a bit, made it a little bit shorter, it may have worked more efficiently. Yeah, I'm not going lower than a 5.
Okay, good.
I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Okay, all right.
It's an enjoyable watch, but it is a long, hard slog, and it leaves you with questions and wondering why things happened.
They made the decision.
Yeah, why people did that and why people did the other. So 6.5 Martian ruins out of 10 for me.
Nice.
But that's just our view. But you guys out there,
what do you think?
What do you think? Yeah, we say this every week. Leave a comment below. Let us know, please. Leave a comment on the YouTube video. Leave a comment if you're watching this on Facebook, or whatever. Leave a comment on there. On Twitter, we're on there as well. Instagram. So we're all on those social media platforms. If you would like to be part of our little gang, get in touch. Leave us a message. As you say, leave a message on any of those platforms. We'll try and get you on. All we need you to be is 18 plus. Because some of the things we review, some of the discussions we have are a little bit adult sometimes. So that's 18 plus, with a working camera and microphone on your PC, laptop, tablet, phone, and you're good to go. Just let us know and we'll have you on, because we love talking movies, we love talking audio drama, love talking TV.
Yeah, we do.
And we love talking music albums every now and again. So please get in touch. We just love talking.
That's true. and the nerdy, the geekier the stuff that we get to talk about, the better.
So sometimes the geeky stuff is some obscure stuff what turns out to be brilliant. Yeah,
and sometimes it's really it's something done by a whole bunch of famous people that turns out to be just kind of
yeah. So also as well, if you do subscribe to our YouTube channel, please press the bell notification button, and you will get notified every time we put a video. So that is all our little bump at the end of our videos. So I don't think I've got anything else to say. Are you, Susan?
No. If you're going to go to Mars, bring plants, bring the stuff. You're going to need to grow some stuff. You're going to need to live there.
Don't blow your rockets up.
Don't blow your rockets up. And, if you're going to bring animals, make sure that you're able to find the water that's, the waters of Mars. That would be really a wise thing to do. Anyway.
Yeah, that's it. That's some wise words from Susan there. So if you ever venture to Mars, pack up well.
Pack up well.
So until next time, bye-bye.